wonderful thing and save money at the same time. That's where we should all be pushing to.
I have another question for you. Do you plan on making a report at town meeting?
We would only, if you would request that, we would most certainly do that. And then we'd also like to present to you what we're going to talk about first, and with the school and with the finance committee, obviously, ahead of time, if that's what you want us to do. And that's in a week?
Mm-hmm.
Monday. Oh,
Tonight. It's Monday.
I'm on a plane at 6 in the morning.
A week from Monday.
We can. Mike, you want to?
Yes.
Yeah,
And then,
if I could, I just wanted to supplement, Briscoe's answers and Mr. Vino's earlier question in terms of the time frame for implementation. I think it's important to emphasize that it actually varies somewhat based on the actual topics that we were addressing this evening. Most specifically, the split tax rate discussion that we spoke to. Actually, I don't believe, other than sort of some of the political angles to it, I don't believe from, and I could be corrected if I'm wrong, but I don't believe from an actual governance perspective, it's an issue that has to be negotiated by the Board of Selectmen with anyone. I believe you have the complete authority to do this in November, which would really, to some extent,
You're right, we do.
be the first test, if you will, of the recommendations that the pact has made.
yes, Mr. Vino.
Yeah, I guess, Mike, I just have to say one more comment, and I'm not doing this to be argumentative,
No, sir.
but I take issue with you saying that things are done slow in the town. From a resident's point of view, you may feel that way, but there are issues that happen during negotiations where sometimes negotiations are stalled for up to as much as 6 months, and the town has no leverage over that. So I don't like to leave a blanket statement like that, without answering it. I mean, Mr. Valiakonis, I know he does his best, and I know the board does too. I know we get backed up too, but, we have a lot of issues on our plate. And, things may get backed up a little bit, but I can't say it. Things are done slow in the town. I really
Would you
can't.
disagree with me that there's always room for improvement?
There's room for improvement. There's room for improvement everywhere.
That's all I'm asking.
But that doesn't mean they're being done slow.
No,
There's
well,
always room for improvement.
then I retract the slowness, but I had only asked that the board.
Speed it up a little.
Try to,
Okay. I'll accept that.
but to answer your question about brief, if maybe you want to go back and look at the first 18 pages, 18 slides, we could.
It would have to be a summary. I mean,
Well,
obviously,
the first 18 slides are really just an overall what we're doing, who we're about, and what our status is. We're more than welcome to do that, but I don't think we would be ready to present detailed data like this.
I wasn't expecting, in fact, if
We're
you,
most certainly ready to brief.
if you don't feel ready to do it, then don't. I just wanted to say that you have the opportunity to do so if you'd like.
Well, I just think, like the split tax rate, I think that's a wonderful thing to present, but I just think it would eat up too much time at town meeting.
I think just an overview as to,
Then that's
what
what
your
I'll do.
charge has been, what you've done up to date, and not getting to the same, just quick bullet, some of the things you've been looking at, and that you've given the detailed
We get
presentation to us.
5 minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that what we get, 5
Yeah.
minutes? I can build a 5-minute presentation,
I
absolutely.
bet you could.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, thanks,
And thanks to,
there's
thank
really
the
9 other
committee
people
also.
on the
Thank
board
you.
committee that really have done
Right.
the bulk of the work. I just got the one that got stuck at the stand up at the podium and do most of the speaking. I got a fantastic committee, and I really do appreciate all their
I just wanted to, I've been sitting here a number of years, and I've seen most of this over the years off and on in different venues, and what you're doing here is you're facilitating, you're helping us pull it all together, which is terrific, and I think it's going to be a very useful tool, and I think it's going to serve as an impetus to get things moving a little bit more quickly than we do. And I didn't take as much exception as Joe did. Things don't move quickly here, believe me. I've been here a long time.
All
And
relative,
we've
Steve.
seen a lot of members come and go very disappointed. They come in, everybody gets elected thinking they're going to change the status quo, and leave 3 or 6 years later very disappointed because a lot of their initiatives didn't come to fruition. You have to be patient sitting here. Again, not only is there diversity of opinion amongst the board members, but there's diversity within the community, and there's challenges as to how we have to go about implementing these things. But there's no doubt
We also
these are
welcome all
different
the
times.
residents, by the way. We welcome all the residents to come participate and send ideas. If they have ideas, they feel free. And there's several that are here tonight that have emailed me with some ideas that hopefully we'll get to it in the process to get them. But they can also participate by providing us data.
One of the suggestions that I really liked, and would encourage the administration to really take advantage of, is to get the departments to sit down with you and get the unions to sit down with you to explain their positions, as to why we're where we're at in the contracts and why they believe things shouldn't be changed necessarily. So you have a better understanding as to what we're up against, and what we have to deal with. But I think it just provides a different forum for the discussion to take place, other than behind closed doors in a collective bargaining session, or just with the administration, department head meetings. So I think it's going to be a very useful opportunity that we should take full advantage of, and the administration should be encouraged to have the departments get involved.
What's nice about that is if you do that, then no one can ever say they never had the opportunity to help fix the problem. And that's the goal for me, is to make sure no one feels that way.
I would like to move on to our next subject. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Next item on our agenda is to sign a statement of intent. And this is a document that the Finance Committee has proposed. Abby, you want to make a comment or statement? You want to get up at the podium?
You have to.
You have to.
You have to.
We know you don't want to.
Yeah, don't give the option.
I think it's interesting that this document has come up this evening, because I think it is a natural progression from the FAC presentation. I think that this came about because the Finance Committee had been very concerned about not only the 2010 budget, but also how we were going to get through 2009. We were also concerned about how the budget process went last year, and our feeling was that we needed to all be on the same page, that we all had to have a commitment to examining and employing all potential and reasonable economic efficiencies to balance the school and the municipal budgets, which is functionally what the FAC committee has been looking into. And so I think, in a sense, this agreement is a commitment for us to follow through and take seriously some of the ideas of the FAC. It also looks at upcoming labor contracts and suggests that the individual departments need to do a cost analysis of their of the labor contract that they're negotiating to see what effect it will have on the budget, and that the Finance Committee provide a non-binding recommendation to the school committee or the Board of Selectmen of that cost analysis. I think it's important that we all go forward, particularly given the current financial times. This is not a pretty period. It's not going to change next year. There are going to be a lot of difficult issues to face. And I think that this document is a commitment that we will go forward as a team, and that we will try to adhere to a reasonable budget schedule. This is not to say that it's cast in stone, or that it can't be fine-tuned, or if on December 15th this doesn't happen, the world is going to come to an end. It's really, I think, more of a goal, and one that we should seriously consider.
Thank you, Abby. Questions? Now, my comment is this, that it is essential that we stick to a budget schedule, and that we get a little closer to discussing the numbers very early in January and not in March. And this is a real challenge, because some of the information on the revenue side that affect our budgets are not known until the beginning of February, or certainly the end of January, and subject to change all the way past our April town meeting in some cases. But I think if we could stick to this, and we've had this discussion with the financial planning team, that's the for those that don't know, that's the group that is made up of the chairs and vice chairs of the school board, the Board of Selectmen, and the Finance Committee, the town administrator and finance director, and the school superintendent and business manager, and we meet on at least a monthly basis. During budget time, we probably squeeze in a couple of extra meetings to try to resolve the nitty-gritty details of squeezing every dollar out of every fund that we have to provide as much of the services that our budget will allow. So I'm certainly in support of this document, and we'll proceed with what the Finance Committee has requested is that we all, the chairs of each of the school committee, Board of Selectmen, and Finance Committee sign this document. So with that, Mr. Belkonis, do you have any comments?
Very good. I think it's very necessary and well-written document.
Board members? With that, Michael?
Mr. Chairman, I move to sign the joint statement of public intent by and between the Board of Selectmen, School Committee, and Finance Committee.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. O'Leary. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Mr. Belkonis, next item.
Board members, you have a motion in your packet for ratification of the collective bargaining agreement with the school district local 25. I ask you to look at the revised motion that's in your packet this evening.
This evening's package.
Yes. Very good. Looks like this part.
Oh, motion, I'm sorry. I pulled it out.
One right there.
So basically, what we're doing here is, this is a contract that's already been negotiated, it is in effect. It's the contract with the police union. We signed a memo of agreement in May, or was it April? April. And the town administrator is about to begin, or shortly begin negotiations for the next contract. Now, we signed a contract in April, and some of you may ask the question, why are we going to begin negotiations again? Well, that contract was at least 2 years behind, and a good part of that was related to the fact that the police filed to dissolve their relationship with the Teamsters, and during that period of time, which was over a year, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bellatone.
Year and a half.
Year and a half, we, under the law, could not have any discussions or negotiations with them. In the end, instead of them changing unions, they voted later to keep the union, and then we were able to begin negotiations again and settle the agreement. So, with that, what's going on here tonight is that letter of agreement has been incorporated into a contract, which is now one solid document representing the agreement and against the old contract, creating basically a new contract, and we're just signing that document. So it's nothing new, it's something that we basically approved back in April. With that, we have a,
I don't believe so.
No?
In your situation, I don't believe that's necessary. You may want to clarify with council.
what is this?
Abstention.
Oh,
You're abstaining in the past because of your relationship
I never
with
had-
your dad, who was a union member.
And I never signed the original memorandum of agreement, so.
all right, well then,
You could still make the motion. and
All right, I'll
abstain.
make the
Yeah,
motion.
sure.
Mr. Chairman, I move to ratify the collective bargaining agreement between the Teamsters Local 25